Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at 4 figures from the Batman the Caped Crusader line from Spin Master. Now I'll be honest, I don't know if these are all part of the same wave or if they're multiple waves. The way Spin Master has released these, at least around me, they don't really have like full-fledged waves like Marvel Legends or something would have. They kind of just new characters show up every so often. So I think these are from an older assortment because I've had these for a little bit, but I just found Catwoman and this green suited Batman at Walmart recently. And I think this guy is a Walmart exclusive because he's in that kind of like swamp packaging that their exclusive Killer Croc was in. And I did find it at Walmart. And the funny thing about the way Spin Master does these, when it's a Target exclusive, it will say only at Target on it, but the Walmart ones don't say that, which I think is interesting. But all the ones that have had this kind of swamp motif or backdrop have been Walmart exclusives. So I'm going to go ahead and venture this guy is a Walmart exclusive, but the other 3 should be anywhere because they have the kind of standard white fading into black, gray backdrop. So either way, very excited for these. We have this Robin that I'm kind of calling Red Robin because it looks more like the Tim Drake Robin. And then we have Joker in his black tuxedo, Catwoman, and then again this kind of, I'm calling Swamp Batman for lack of a better term, because he's got this kind of camouflage green motif, which I think is pretty cool. So the way these figures work, you go ahead and you pull this tab over here on the side, and apparently mine's taped closed, but it is perforated there. And then you should be able to just break this open. And you can see here how it has this card on the side. And there was another one I didn't pick up that was basically the Killer Croc figure we already have, but he had some, or no, was that the shark? I can't remember. There is definitely a version of King Shark that has kind of like blue, it looks like ink for lack of a better term. And you can see here how Killer Croc has the green on his arms and mouth. So I don't know if that's like some kind of ooze or mutagen or just dye or ink, or I mean it's obviously intentional. I'm not sure in according with the story what the story is behind this splash of color, but it obviously has something going on because it's here on the collector card. So in any case, you get one collector card here. You also get these little lockers where you can see that they come with accessories. So he has these 2 blades that we've seen these before. This time we have a kind of translucent yellowy brown color, and it's basically 2 blades that you can hook together, and then they have a little hook on this side so he can use it as a shield, which I think is kind of neat. The second accessory that he comes with is a grappling hook gun. Again, we've seen this piece before. And then we have, as the third and final accessory, this looks to be a backpack of some kind. It looks like we have a little bat symbol with wings and a jetpack. You can see the little, I guess, thruster there. A little faux flame on the bottom. So that's kind of a neat accessory. Kind of a little jetpack. So that's pretty cool. So each figure does have 3 accessories. You just have these little, I like to call them lockers because it's kind of what it reminds me of. Little lockers here on the side that have 1 accessory in each. And then you just have to pull the figure out of the bubble. So I'm going to go ahead and just do, let's just run through and find out the accessories real quick. That's pretty cool. I really like that card there. And these are just cardboard, but they do have perforated edges so that you can pop them out if you want to keep them as collectible cards. So let's see. She's got some, looks like cat claws. That's kind of cool. Some of these, and I've noticed this on previous releases, they have like, you know, dye randomly inserted in the plastic. And I'm not really sure what that's about. I don't know if it's like a design thing or it's just meant to add like detail to it or what, but I think it looks a little weird. But anyway, there's the cat claws. Ooh, this is a new one. Oh, this is kind of cool. So I'm assuming this pegs into the peg on the back, and then it's kind of an over-the-shoulder cannon. That's kind of neat. Now, see, this one I kind of like. I kind of like the color in the die because it kind of makes it look like rusted, or like a kind of weathered metal. That's kind of interesting. That's a new accessory. I've never seen that one before. And then the last one. Okay, good. She has a whip. I think that makes sense for Catwoman. I wish it was a little bit longer. And this is one I wish didn't have the weird spots of paint in the plastic, but at least she does come with a whip, which is pretty cool. I feel like that's a pretty necessary accessory. Wow, try to say that a couple times fast. Necessary accessory for Catwoman. Next up, we'll check out Robin here. So we'll go ahead and pop this open. And then he's got a card there with Killer Moth. So his 3 accessories. It looks like he has a short staff. If I can get this out of here. It looks like a bow staff for a super tiny Donatello. But there you go. He's got a little staff. Next up, we have a katana. As you can see there. And then for the third one, oh, he's got a piece of the bat armor. So he's got a helmet there. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Joker. Let's see, he's got a Joker versus Batman card there. Alright, so his first one is a gun that shoots a punching glove. And then we have... Now these I actually think are kind of neat. It's like a little chattering teeth, like explosive thing on little feet. That's kind of a fun little accessory. I think that's kind of fun. And then his last accessory is kind of a generic gun. So nothing super exciting there. So that's going to do it for the packaging, the cards, and the accessories there. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys out so we can take a look at the figures themselves. So here are the 4 figures out of the packaging. I think they look great. I really applaud Spin Master for these figures. I think they've done a great job. Little 4-inch DC figures. Very nicely detailed, very nicely painted. I love the expression the Joker's giving here. I think that's hysterical. Head it's supposed to move side to side, but for some reason his doesn't really want to, so I don't really want to break it. But normally you would have head side to side rotation. You'd have a hinge here in the shoulder, as well as a spin there. You have a similar joint in the elbow with a hinge and a rotation. Yeah, I don't think the hands move in any way. I think they're solid. You don't have anything in the waist, but the hip can kick forward, kick out to the side. You have a thigh swivel. You have a bend and swivel in the knee, very similar to the elbow. And then from the knee down is solid. So for the size figures they are, I really do think that they do a nice job with articulation. And like I said, the paint applications are really sharp. Overall, I'm really happy with these figures. I really like them quite a bit. So you can give him his little punching glove gun. And then he also came with this like random blaster, but I don't really care too much about that. But I do like the little bombs that he has. I think those are fun. So we'll give him those 2 accessories. Next up, we have the what I'm calling Tim Drake Robin, Red Robin. He looks great. The only thing that bums me out is the color of his mask. I really wish that was black instead of green. I was thinking about maybe trying to take a Sharpie to it, but I'd probably just mess it up. But I mean, I think the costume looks great. I think you could definitely use this as a Tim Drake Robin. I just really wish... I mean, red or black. I would have preferred black, but I would even take red over green. I don't know why. I think it's probably because they made this head for the other Robin and they just, reused the same head with the same paint applications and everything. And it's really kind of a bummer. But he's got all the same articulation points as Joker does. He's got the cape, which it's kind of like a little nylon cape. But it works. It's good enough. It's got the peg on the back, and he does have a hole through the cape so that you could go ahead. You could use this crazy thing. Although this almost seems too big. Yeah, I don't know if I would use this on someone with a cape. Well, okay, it'll fit here. Just have the cape go over top of it. But you've got that crazy giant cannon gun. This came with Catwoman, but I just think it's neat. It's kind of huge. So he came with a katana, and he came with a little bow staff. Now, I'll be honest, these accessories make more sense for Damian Wayne Robin, because he was trained by the League of Assassins. So I feel like they're giving you a paint scheme to match a different character Robin, but then they're kind of getting lazy with the accessories and the mask by just giving you the things that came with the other Robin action figures. So while I appreciate they're trying to give you something for another character, they're not really customizing the mask or accessories. So it's close, but it's just not quite all the way there. But if you're good enough to customize that and paint the mask black, I think you'd have a really great Tim Drake Robin figure there. I do have some trouble getting him to stand sometimes. I think that's just me because I'm bad at posing figures, but with the exception of the mask, I think he looks fantastic. And it's not that the mask looks bad, just the color doesn't match the rest of the suit. Next up, we have Catwoman. I think they did a really nice job with Catwoman. I think the head looks perfect. The goggles look great. Really, the whole head sculpt in general, I think, looks really good. And the rest of her body's just all black, which makes sense. I mean, I think it makes sense for the design. Now, she came with this giant gun, and I really don't understand why she would have it. But you certainly can use it with her. It's nuts. It's a crazy back-mounted gun that pops out. It looks cool, though. I think it's a neat accessory. I kind of wish she came with like a little cat, the way that Talon came with a little owl that perched on his shoulder. I wish they did the same thing where they had a cat tail that pegged in here, and then she just had a cat that sat on her shoulder. I think that would have been really neat. I would have really liked that. She has a whip, though, which is very characteristic for Catwoman. So let's see if we can get this in her hand. Not too bad. Like I said, I wish it was a little bit longer, but it's very in keeping with her character and the weapons that she usually wields. So I think that's pretty cool. I think they did a good job there. Really like the design. The accessories just seem a little out of place. That giant blaster gun, the back-mounted blaster gun, doesn't really make sense for Catwoman in my opinion. It's neat, and I'll use it for some other characters and other figures that I have, but I think it's a weird choice to pair with her. But I do really like the whip. Just wish it was a bit longer. And I kind of wish she came with a little cat. Other than that, really cool figure. It seems like she doesn't really want to stand with the whip. The whip probably makes her a little too front heavy. There we go. Next up, we'll move to the green swamp camouflage Batman. I'm just going to call him Swamp Batman from now on. It's pretty much our standard Batman action figure. If you've gotten any of the Batman figures from Spin Master, I believe they're all the exact same mold. But they look good. It's a good mold. Head moves side to side. Pretty much all the same articulation as the others. You have the bend and swivel in the elbow. The forearm and wrist is a solid piece. Kick forward and out to the side. With the hip, thigh swivel, and then a very similar knee joint to the elbow. And then cape looks pretty good. I feel like he could probably get this to fit through the cape. Yeah, that would work. So, that's a crazy accessory. I like it, though. Just seems so weird to have it come with Catwoman. And then the accessories that he came with were all these, like, mud-colored Batman accessories. I mean, we've seen these all before with previous Batman figure releases. You've got the grappling hook gun. You've got the little jetpack. We'll go ahead and pop that on. And then he's also got the shield. Let's see, can we give him all three here? I'm sure we can. There we go. So you can completely trick him out with accessories, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I really like these figures. Like I said, I feel like for the price, they're like $7.99 a piece. I think the price is completely reasonable for what you get. Nice little figures, good articulation, good paint applications. The accessories are usually great. Some are a little weird. Oh, we forgot about... I'm so sorry. I forgot about her cat claws. Let me see how these work. Now, these are probably not that great. And not because there's anything actually wrong with them, but they like to do this where they have the... Like, I would rather have these probably on the side, but there's no way to do that because they always have the peg come from the top, and so the character has to hold them strangely. It's like those weird gloves holding the sticks they always give to Nightwing, and they just don't quite work. These aren't bad, but I would much rather they be on the side than on the top, but yeah, they're okay. I forgot about those. And then I think it was Nightwing who came with the extra Batman helmet. And you can actually put this on a bunch of different figures. It probably won't fit that great on all of them. That actually looks kind of cool because of her goggles. That actually lines up pretty well, actually. Not bad. I actually like that. But yeah, I'm going to keep her with the whip. So, yeah, these are great figures. Like I said, honestly, for what they cost and what you get, I think they really, really do a great job. I mean, to give you 3 different accessories, you know, this much articulation and paint applications all for $8 a piece, I really can't complain. Even if not all of the accessories land, or what you might think about, you know, every single one of them. The only thing is, this whole thing about putting like random splotches of paint throughout the plastic, I don't know if they think that makes it seem more interesting or what. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I kind of wish they would stop. I liked rather just having the translucent. I feel like it's just so they can reuse some of the accessory molds and make them different than like the translucent plastic ones you might already have. I don't know. I'd rather just see new and exciting accessories. Like I think the whip works really great for her. This giant crazy thing I think is kind of neat. So I'm excited to see new accessories. I think we're all done with the Batman armor. I think we've got enough of that. I don't think we need any more. But yeah, I think these are great figures. I definitely recommend checking them out. Oh, and real quick, I also wanted to show, this is the insert that came with Catwoman, and that's the King Shark I was talking about. You can see how he has a little bit of that blue paint on his arms. Again, I'm not sure what that's supposed to signify. I don't know if it's some kind of ooze he's been moving around in or what, but it's a new version of King Shark that has some of that blue paint on his arms. There's also this really cool Thomas Wayne from Flashpoint Batman. That's really cool. I don't think it's been remolded. I think it's just a paint job, but it's still a really cool paint job. And then there's a solid gold Joker for some reason. They do that every so often where they just do a solid gold version of different characters as a rare. But yeah, I love these figures. I recommend any one of them. They're not perfect. Like, there are certain things. I mean, honestly, for what you get, for what you pay, I think they're great. Obviously, there's always going to be little things that you nitpick and wish were a little different, but I wouldn't stop that from picking up. I wouldn't have that stop you from picking up any of these because they're still a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.